Hello everyone, it's Adam Ratliff with Adam So Fun, and we are back, and today we are making those side leaders that everybody has been interested about since I did my Busting Up Borders video. I have to say, y'all are real demanding, telling me like, oh, great video, I want to know how you made those side leaders. I want to know how you made those side leaders. So here we are, we're going to make them. First thing first, this is not my idea. This idea, I'm in queue trying to buy something, so this computer is going to sit here just in case I get picked. But this idea, 100% Sapphire Stitches, Barb Tatera. She's amazing. I should pay her to be considered an educator with her. She's that good. So if you haven't, go follow her. I will link her down below. So this was her idea, so I'm stealing it. SewTites, we're going to be using the SewTite magnets. They are in here. There's a piece on each side, and then those are what's going to clamp together. They have a blog post about it down below. I'll link that too. But we are going to, or I'm going to show you how the blog tells you to make these. Now, this is my first set I made. I made them kind of out of a canvas curtain material, and apparently I didn't pass reading comprehension because when I was reading through the directions, like something didn't make sense, and I think I didn't read a step. So I made mine, and it was a full package. Stuck my pieces in, sewed little kind of leaders on the side to keep my magnets on the sides. But I have this seam that wraps around the full outside of this. And Barb was actually here in January, and she saw those, and she goes, "Why did you make them like that?" I'm like, "Well, I wanted it to do this and that." And she goes, "Yeah, the other ones do." So I went back and kicked the reading comprehension into gear and realized, oh, I'm dumb. I just wasn't reading it right. So I'm going to show you the real way to make them. I'm going to be showing you. So I have two sets. I have a set that uses the HD magnet. So these are SewTite HDs. They are a HD for heavy duty, so they're a little bit stronger, a lot of bit stronger actually. They weigh a little bit more because I believe there's an extra magnet, or the magnets are extra big and strong, whatever. I also have a set of SewTites, just the original, just like the teal. So I'm gonna call these the teal ones. These are the blue ones. I like the teal ones, but I find that if I'm going to do something with a double layer of batting, these don't hold as tight. So it won't actually connect. It's not strong enough to squish the two layers of batting and backing together. But if you're someone who only pins to the back or clamps to the backing, I'll clamp all three layers, or all the layers other than my quilt top. If they're there, I just clamp everything together. But if you only clamp the back, use the originals. They're going to be just as good. Or they're going to be better for you in the long run. They're not as heavy, but they don't clamp as much. So like everything in life, there's a pro and con. Not as heavy, but they can't clamp as many layers. If you're going to be using some thick fabrics, maybe cuddle or flannel, anything like that, this might be the better way to go. These are the HD. They are heavier, so if I have my quilt top and I put the and I have a gallery frame, so we'll get to that in a second, but I have my 3 on there, it might sag down a little bit because of the heft. I did find that my ruler base hit these a few times, but I'm thinking it's because I also had this thick seam with 4 layers of fabric, so I was actually hitting the seam and not the actual magnet part. But we'll see. I'm gonna make the new ones and see what's going on. The new ones, like I said, I'm making them the correct way. And there's not a seam here, it's just where the fold. So the fold is made on the side of the magnet, so you're not gonna have as much. And I'm also using a thinner fabric because this is, like I said, canvas. So we're gonna make them the real way. So you have the option of the regular SewTites or the SewTite HDs. If you have a studio frame, you need 1 pack because you'll need a total of 4. And they have 5. If you have a gallery frame, you're gonna need 2 packs because you need a total of 6. Because you'll have the 3 clamps on each side. So decide which one you want and then get 2 packs. Since we're talking magnets, remember at SewTites.com, I'll link them below. If you use code ASF10, you will save 15% off your purchase. So you can, everything on anything they sell, not just the magnets that I use, but anything on their website. So I also use these, since you're going to be there, I also use these to hold the extra leaders on my belly bar and my top bar for when I'm rolling, so it's not flopping around. These, after I get my quilt loaded, go and I stick them on my leaders on the side so they're not flopping around. And they just got the SewTite Magnums back in stock. These are the 4 inches long. Hey, I'm good. These are the 4-inch magnets. They're heavy duty. They're small enough that I have good control putting them on and taking them off that bar. It's not like a big magnetic bar. And because they only work in 4 pieces, but you could hear that. You can hear that click. They are strong. These are strong magnets. So they come in a set of 5 or a set of 20. Again, ASF 10 will save you 15% off, and I get a little kickback too. But these are the ones that I'm going to use when I'm loading up a quilt if I don't want to pin it. Usually smaller quilts, like I'm not going to put a king quilt on that way, but you could. There's nothing wrong with it. They're about 4 inches. You probably need a good 1 every 6 inches of your quilt. So if you have a 60-inch quilt, you're probably using 10 or so. Is that right? Something like that. You want 1 inch of space, maybe 2 inches at the most between each magnet. So these are the magnums. Where am I going? I don't even know. I have to keep them away from my computer. So first step is to pick your fabrics. Let me move these out of the way. Let me go get the fabric. I mean, if I'm totally honest, I already started this video and then I didn't like how long these were, so I started it again. All right, and with the magic of television or YouTube, I'm back. So I'm using this skull fabric because I found it in my stash, and I'm like, oh, that would be fun. And I think I have it in green too. So I'm actually going to make 2 sets. I'm going to make a HD set for my heavy duty, and then I'm also going to make an original set whenever I'm not doing something double batted, maybe just my regular edge to edges and stuff, because it doesn't, they're not as heavy. So what I've done is I've pressed this and just folded it. If you are making these original size, you need a 2.5-inch strip. And this is what the directions that are linked before, or linked down below. It's for the original size, so it's a 2.5-inch strip. These magnets are about 1 3/4 inches. The HD magnets are longer. They're about 3 1/8 inches. So you're gonna need, they're 2 1/8. They're a little over 2 1/8. So you're going to need a 3-inch strip for these ones. That's what I found works good. So 3-inch for HD, 1/2 inch for the original. I'm making HD magnets, so I've already pressed this. I have to shift some stuff around. So I pressed it. I found my straight edge, or I've made a straight edge, and now I need to cut a few more strips. Now, like I said, I've already made a few of these because I don't think you need to see me cut or stitch 1/4-inch seams, so I'm not going to make you do that. So we're going to kind of jump through pieces and we'll work accordingly. But I'm going to get my ruler. This is, by the way, this is a Quilter Select ruler. This, I like the 8.5 by 24. If you don't have one of these, these are fantastic. They have a non-slick on the back, so when you're cutting long strips like this, I used to always cut and then so now I don't do that because it's non-slip. So there's one. Is that my 6? 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's my 6. Like I said, I've already made a few. All right, so that's the first thing. We're just doing the either the 1/2-inch or the 2.5-inch strip or the 3-inch strip with the fabric. I like these to be a little bit longer. You can always roll them up and make them shorter. So now I have my strips. Let me get my pressing board back. And this is just a homemade pressing board with, it was a not a 2x4, it's 2 feet by 4 feet, but that's not a 2x4 piece of plywood probably. I wrapped it in batting and then wrapped it in a heavy canvas. I wouldn't use heavy canvas. I actually have a new one over in the corner, but I haven't opened the, oh, did I turn my iron on? I haven't opened my staple gun to finish it. So I have my strips. That's a done one. This isn't a done one. That's not a done one. Okay. So I'm going to have my strips, and the first step is I want to turn the edges in to give them a nice finished look. This is a selvage. I probably don't even have to do that, but I'm going to do it because what if you needed to do it? And here's a trick when you are, anytime you have to make like a hem or something like that, I get a piece of paper, this isn't paper, this was actually the insert system crochet needles. This is probably a little bit thin. I really like the postcards, like when you go to something and it's like, oh, there's a quilt show coming up. I like to use those postcards because they're a straight edge. And I'll just notch in that 1/4 inch line. So you can see my 1/4 inch line right there. My iron's heated up. I can now put this and push against the edge of the cardboard. Line my fabric up with the edge of that line. And this will help me get a really nice 1/4 inch seam. If you have an old manila folder, nobody has those anymore, but if you had an old manila folder, those work really, really well. And I used to have them in different sizes. So I'd have a 1/4 inch, a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, and a full inch. Ooh. And because someone's definitely going to ask, this is my reliable iron. It's the Reliable Maven. So it's my steam station, I call it. I'm really liking it. So if you want a review, there it is. I really like it. I feel like it doesn't like throw steam at you, but it definitely steams a lot. This heavy canvas on this ironing board isn't great because it doesn't, it's not really porous. So sometimes when the steam's coming out, my iron kind of slides around like a skee ball table. Not skee ball, air ball. Air hockey, air hockey. So that's my little tip on pressing those. So I've pressed these. I'm going to take these to my sewing machine and I'm just going to sew like 1/8 of an inch on the side. And surprise, we have one done. I actually have 2 done. So I've just sewn that hem right here. Nothing fancy. I'm not going to show you how to do that because it's just 1/8 of an inch. So now we have our strips and we have our edges done. I have 2 because I'm going to show you this twice. Let me move all this out of the way. I don't know what you can see. I'm going to move the camera so you kind of see this a little better. All right, so we have our strip. That one actually is looking at you. My next step, right sides together. I'm just going to line up my edges because I want to find the center. So there we are. But we want the right sides together. We'll do it on both of them. This one's facing me. And remember, these are side leaders. They don't have to be perfect. And I'm going to hit this with steam to steam in that crease. I want to be able to see that crease. There we are. So when we open it up, I can see my center crease. I'm going to fold each side to the center. And now I can take this to my sewing machine and stitch 1/4 inch straight down the side and 1/4 inch straight down the other side. I'm not going to worry about that center because this is going to be our center, our open part, so we can flip it out later. So again, I've steamed the crease, opening it up and right sides together. I'm bringing those pieces over and they're meeting up in the middle. So now I'm going to stitch that and stitch that at my sewing machine. Magic, poo-wow, done. Okay, so I have my stitch seamed, my seam stitched. I have my opening. I need this because I need to be able to put the magnet in. Now I can go in and turn this right side out. These are so fast. There's really nothing to them. They look a lot fancier and a lot more put together than they are. Like they look harder. Harder is the word I'm looking for. Now this is where you can decide, do you want to get crazy and turn the corners out? Do I have a purple thing? I have 100 of them. Do I know where one is? Let me see. Well, I'm forever cleaning my sewing room, and by cleaning it, I grab everything, I throw it somewhere. So I'm going to use my turning, or this is my seam ripper and stiletto, but I'm just going to use this to pop out my corners. It doesn't, remember, it is something to hold your quilt. It doesn't have to be perfect. There we go. There we go. And now my edges are turned out. If you are so inclined to want to press this, then you can. Some of you are like, oh, I don't like pressing things. I'm a presser. So now I have my piece that ultimately is going to look like this. So next step is we have to put our magnet in it. This is a blue one, so I need the heavy duty magnet. And let me get some scissors. All right, these are some ceramic scissors I have. These are horrible. They're called Slice. I hate them. If you ever see them somewhere, do not buy them. I was like, oh, ceramic, let's try them out. I am so not a fan. If you make them, I'm sorry that I'm not giving you a good review. But I'm always honest. So I'll use them when I have to. Now this one's dead because it's the old one. So I have my magnet. And so these magnets will come in two pieces. You have a front and you have a back. Front is going into one side, back is going into the other. You might like to look at it and say, especially if it's directional, think like, okay, if I put the magnet in and this is the top, because we want the magnet side, the blue side with the magnets on the top. Maybe this is going to be on the left because the skulls are facing me, so I'm going to slide this in. This is the back piece is going in the other side, and I'm just going to jingle it down. This will fit and give you a little bit of give down here, but it's going to pop up right to the edge. So will the bar with a little bit of manipulation. So now I have my magnet here. You can see that it's kind of folding easily. And what we want to do is we want to take this to our sewing machine and we want to sew a seam right next to it. This is not easy. This is a magnet. So most of us have metal feet on our machines. It wants to stick. So make sure the magnet part is sticking up. So I have my 3 little magnets right here. They are sticking up. And I just put it next to my foot and sew as close as you can. I'm using my straight stitch machine right now, so that's what I'm going to do. I am going to take you over to the sewing machine and show you how I do this, just so you can see that it's not exactly perfect. So we'll be back in a second. All right, so here's my piece. Magnets in there. You can see that they clip together. So I'm going to start on the non-magnet side with just the strip. And like I said, I like to try to get as close as I can to that strip. You have to be really careful. If you hit that metal strip, you're just going to break your needle. So this is that a 1/4 inch? This is maybe 3, or it's not an 1/8. Oh, what is that? I don't have a ruler. It's not an 1/8 because that's my 1/4. Whatever. I don't know where that thing is, but I'm just gonna put the foot up against the edge of the metal. Oh, I guess I could start off the edge, huh? All right, there's the edge of the metal. There we go. All right, so I'm just doing a straight stitch. I'm trying to hit my shoe to make my stitches. There we go. Remember, it is a side clamp holder. It doesn't have to be perfect. I did do a back stitch at the beginning and end. So I have my little pocket, and there is a little bit of give. There's about, we'll say 1/8 of an inch or so. Maybe almost 1/4. A little under 1/4. But whatever, it's going to be fine. So, magnet up. I can fill my 3 magnets under there. You can maybe see the detail or the divots of them. I'm keeping the magnet side up, and I'm going to do the same thing. And it's already trying to stick to my foot, so that will be the fun part here. All right, here we go. I think I'm inside. Now, and they got my foot at the end. It's fine. It's getting my scissors. That just means they work. Oops, I hit the camera. So now I have it done. I have my magnets in my sides. Here we go. One other thing I like to do, I like to have a lip for my side leader or for my clamp to hold on to. So I'm going to look at it again. My top magnet is here. So I'm going to fold this down, and I just do like a double wrap. They're not anything big, maybe a quarter to a half an inch each. And now I'm going to bring this. I want to make sure they're straight. Gosh. All right. So I'm going to wrap it. And now I just want to fold or stitch down the side, just to hold it flat. I've never tried a big fat seam like this on this machine, but this machine is heavy duty. There we go. That actually went through really nice. A random stray thread. There we go. There we go. And now my side clamp is done. I have, oh, this is the HD. So I have my magnet is in its little pouch. Its end is in its little pouch. The center has a little lip for me to clamp onto. And now I can take this to my quilt top and use this right on my machine. Alright everyone, so that is the side clamp holder. That's how easy it is. It is step 1, cut your strip. Step 2, turn those edges in a 1/4 inch just to give you a nice finish. Step 3, sew down the sides. Step 4, put your strips together, wrong sides together, or right sides together. Put your strips down, right sides together, and press that center fold. I don't know what step we're on, so we'll just say step 6. We're folding right sides together into the center. Step 7 is stitch the 1/4 inch down the right and left side. Step 8, turn out. Step 9, put your magnets in. So now that your magnets are in, we're going to sew the little pockets for your magnet and the magnet back. Then we're going to fold it together. Do a fold or two here to create a lip for your clamp to actually grab onto, and you're done. So remember, if you have a studio frame, you need 4, 2 on the right, 2 on the left. If you have a gallery frame, you need 6, 3 on the right, 3 on the left. You can make them with the regular SewTites or the SewTite HDs, whichever you prefer. 3-inch strips for the SewTite HDs, 2.5 for the regular SewTites, and ASF10, code ASF10 will get you 15% off your purchase. So that's it. I hope you make them. Show us pictures. I want to see the fabric you're picking for yours. I struggled because these are something I'm going to see a lot, which means I'm going to enjoy them a lot. And I almost used some of my my like stashed Allison glass that I'm never going to cut kind of fabric. But I decided, because I have blue skulls and teal skulls, I was going to use the skulls. But all right, everyone. At the end of the day, it's just quilting. You want to laugh and have a good time. Make sure you follow me on social media, Adam's So Fun with an SEW on Facebook and Instagram. And like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon so you're notified when new videos drop. We'll see you all later. Go join the So Fun community on Facebook. Make sure you answer all 3 questions, because if you don't, I don't know if you're a bot or not, and I won't accept you. But we always share what we're currently working on, staying positive. Remember, it's 2020. Everybody gets a thumbs up. Thanks all. Have a good one, and we'll see you in the next video.